Hey, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Below Deck Med, Season 5, Episode 9, Viva Las Vegas. Oh, this episode! It made me so sad. Poor Kiko. I love Kiko. Let's get into it. So the episode starts off, it picks up where we left off last week with Kiko having a chat with Captain Sandy. Remember, we're coming off that awful breakfast and poor Kiko. Sandy's telling him that the food always tastes good, but the pressure and the plating seem to be getting to him. Kiko says that Sandy's words hurt him today, and he breaks down and he says, I got my moment and I'm about to show her, that he's going to try his best. Oh, Kiko, I just want to give you a hug. What an awful, awful time he's having. And I really feel for him. I really do. He's the nicest chef we've seen on one of these shows. So then we go forward. The captain is calling a preference sheet meeting for the guests that are about to get on. This is Charter 5. It's Sean Foote and his wife, Crystal. He's a financial advisor as well as a record label owner, and she works in advertising. Their friends who are coming with them, it's an anniversary party. They want to do a casino theme party as well as a 90s theme night. It's going to be a 4-day charter, which is a day longer than they usually do. Hannah's whining, complaining, saying that the extra day, it just adds so much. Sandy says she wants to kill it this charter. Rob and Jessica are cuddling, and the producer asks her if they're in a relationship, and she says yes. Then we see Bugsy and Alex. I have to say, I've really grown to like Alex. I think he's so cute. He's got a cute personality, and he seems like a sweet guy. He seems to really like Bugsy, so I hope they hook up. So poor Kiko. Everybody's getting ready to go out, and Kiko is staying behind so he can work on his food and just to have a better experience tomorrow. We see a montage of everybody getting ready. And here comes Bugs, and Bugs is such a beautiful girl. I love this dress that she's wearing. I do not understand the hair clip. I normally wouldn't even spend time on this, but I feel like it's the elephant in the room. So I personally love to see when they get to put on their casual clothes or their, going out clothes. I like to see what their style is and what they all wear, but Bugs, girl, you got on too many necklaces and earrings and the clips. It's just a little much. What was that take one thing off before you leave thing? I think Chanel said that. So take something off, Bugs. Take off those hair clips. But I do love this dress. So they all go out to dinner and we see them sitting around and toasting. Again, we see poor Kiko back working, getting ready. It looks like he's going over what he has for the next charter. He explains that he comes from a country and that just doesn't have the same opportunities that he has right now. It doesn't matter if you can do it or not, you always have to try. I love his work ethic. We see Hannah acting weird. I always think Hannah acts weird, but they're calling a lot of attention to it this night out at dinner. They talk about if Kiko's gonna last or not, and poor Kiko. We do see Bugs and Alex flirting here. We got Rob telling Jess that he likes her too much, and then we see Bugs and Malia having a chat. It seems like they're all frustrated a little bit with Hannah. They're talking about her being weird. Malia's bringing up how Captain woke up Bugs last charter to help out, and how that seemed to really rub Hannah the wrong way. So then they all go back to the boat. Again, we got Alex and Bugs, and I thought this was a cute scene. Alex is flirting. He's so drunk. It's pretty funny to watch. So they end the conversation by holding hands. It's just a sweet moment. So it's the next morning. Kiko's up bright and early. He's working hard to get ready to impress these charter guests. We got Hannah meeting with the girls, talking about responsibilities and how she can help wow people with her and Bugs on service, and kind of brings up the laundry thing with Jess. It sounds like Jess is losing all this laundry. It's the strangest thing. It's a small boat. Where's it going? So then we see Kiko again getting ready. We go over to the deck crew. They are having a meeting. Captain Sandy decides to pay attention. Malia's really giving the guys a pep talk, you know, getting them ready, setting the expectation for the next charter. Hannah walks up. She asks them about the missing laundry. Alex explains that his underwear was in somebody else's pile and nobody can find anything. And then Malia reveals that Jess apparently said that the interior wasn't doing crew uniforms. It's not a priority. Of course, we find out later it sounds like it's a misunderstanding, but it's hard. So I've heard a lot of comments saying they don't like Malia's attitude. Malia really doesn't bother me too much. You know, she's trying to prove herself. I get it. This is a new job for her. The one who I'm noticing more is Jess. I like Jess. I do. Her attitude's a little crappy. And, you know, even if it's a misunderstanding, Jess is third stew. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she had an attitude or if it just came across that way. But I'm seeing it more. She did it with Bugsy last week a couple of times. And now this comes up with Malia. So I'm very curious to see where this goes. Malia says she is missing some things. She'll take a look and let them know what she's missing. Hannah goes to leave. The captain stops her and says, Jess gets it right this charter or you find another third stew. And that she's tired of the excuses. This is the 5th charter. We see Hannah and Jess having a talk. Hannah's talking to Jess about the laundry. Again, it sounds like it was just a miscommunication. Hannah brings up what Malia said. Jess says she said that it was the personal clothing that they weren't making a priority, not the uniforms. And Hannah says it is a priority. So Jess goes to find Malia and says she wants to clarify that personal clothing isn't a priority, but the uniforms are. Malia says we aren't getting uniforms back. Laundry should be a whole interior thing that gets sorted. Jess says next time talk to me so it doesn't go to Captain Sandy. Malia explains she didn't mean for it to go to Captain, but she was sitting there when Hannah came up and talked about it. Malia to camera does say that she feels for Jess, that she keeps getting thrown under the bus and it has to be hard for her. And they brought up a good point. I didn't think about that. Again, remember at the Breakfast from Hell last week, the first one Hannah threw under the bus was Jess, saying that she should have radioed her when the guests were at the table. So I kind of felt for Jess here too. That sucks. Guests arrive. They're excited. They talk to everybody. They want to know who the chef is. So Kiko says hi. And sounds like they're really into some food. So he's gonna work with them there. We see that him immediately bring out some oysters for everybody. And he's talking to Hannah how he can do a good job this charter. She's really trying to pull for him. She recommends that he gets as much information from them as he can. I'd say that's good advice. He talks to them, and it sounds like they're into all kinds of meat, chicken, fish, everything. So he comes up with a good game plan, and they seem excited about it. So we start off with this lunch here he's made. Everybody's really enjoying it. It looks like a big seafood paella. He also makes this steak plate here, which looks delicious, but he then covers it with this gravy. I will say Hannah tried to stop him and see if he wanted to put it on the side. He was more worried that the steaks were getting cold, so he thought to dump it right on there. Of course, we know how that ended up. They weren't very happy with that. The captain was not very happy with that either. So after lunch, all the guests decide to take out some water toys. We see that they're on jet skis. It is very choppy. One of them goes down. Though the wife can't swim, so she's freaking out. Malia jumps in. Looked like Alex jumped in too. She went to grab her and pull her into safety. It didn't seem that treacherous, but I'm sure if you can't swim, that's a really big deal. She probably panicked, and Malia did the right thing to jump in and help her out. Kiko's making dinner for everybody. Hannah suggests that he add a chicken dish with some potatoes. You know, Kiko's like, chicken? And she's like, yeah, but that's what they like. And she brings up a good point. He needs to follow the preference sheet. So he does add that in. Bugs is decorating the table, getting ready to celebrate the couple's anniversary. They sit down, the captain is joining them. And so they're served, and it starts off with a scallop dish that everybody seemed to like, and the chicken and the potatoes. The captain even comes to tell him he did a good job. The guests really liked it. So it went well. We'll find out later that the captain wasn't, overly impressed with the presentation, which I agree. They probably could have done a little better on that. But the food, they seem to like it pretty good. So it's the second day of charter. They're in Spain. Kiko gets up early again to get on breakfast. The breakfast looked delicious, I thought. The guests are very happy. They're toasting. They are getting ready to get off the boat and do like an excursion. They're taking an electric tram here to see the countryside. Bugs and Alex got to go with them. So we see a sweet moment with Bugs and Alex. The guests are encouraging them to get together. And Alex did something so sweet here. Bugs had tried on a hat that she liked, and he went in and bought it for her. And I thought that was so sweet. It was probably produced, but I loved it. I thought it was so cute. I thought they were so cute together here. So we go back on the boat, and Kiko is getting ready. He's getting ready for tonight's Vegas night. Oh, Kiko. So let's talk about this. It's Vegas night. I'm somebody that's been to Vegas like an insane number of times. It's just somewhere we went growing up. It's just something we did. But I don't even know what Vegas food is. Even having been there so many times, I mean, I actually think like buffet, which sounds like is what Kiko was trying to do, but you have to do like an upscale buffet with like shrimp, steak. I know he did steak the day before, but stuff like that. Poor Kiko, on the advice of Hannah. And Hannah bugs me, but I don't blame Hannah for this one. She's telling him to fry everything. The part that bugs me is that poor Kiko, he should have gone up and talked to the guests. That would have solved all this. He could have said, listen, I'm from Brazil, I think is where he said he's from. We don't have Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas. This is what Google says this food is. Is this what this is? Does this sound good to you? So I think that would have provided a lot of clarity for him, and they just wouldn't have had this experience. So we see he's frying everything. Bugsy did a beautiful table setting to get ready for the anniversary. Everybody raves over it. We see a huge plate of fried chicken here, which it does look delicious, but oh, Kiko, so much fried food. So they're delivering it, and then come the dreaded nachos. So there's this awful, awful looking plate of nachos. Why would you ever serve nachos on a boat? I love nachos. But, oh, that looks like the stuff I make in my microwave on a paper plate. That's not fancy boat food. So even Malia kind of tries to hide it. She puts it on a platter, and this is a tough one. I got a little frustrated with Captain Sandy because she kind of corners Bugsy here and Hannah and tries to say, like, you shouldn't have served it. I don't think it's their fault for serving it. If the chef makes it, you're kind of stuck. So Bug says, no, it was me. I served it. And so the captain's not overly happy. She has to go talk to Kiko about it, and oh, it breaks my heart. So she's saying, you got to do better than this. We don't serve things like that. And he's saying, I'll go. And she's like, no, finish the charter. And he says, and then I'll go. And she basically says, okay. Poor Kiko. So then we see a flash of next time. It looks like somebody is playing too hard on the jet skis. And Malia has told RHOBH to keep eyes on him. Of course, RHOBH wanders off, so it sounds like hell breaks loose there with Malia. RHOBH tells Jess that he loves her, so I'm very curious to see what happens there. Especially if you've seen Watch What Happens Live. I don't want to spoil anything, but they've interviewed them both since. And yeah, just go take a listen. So we have Malia talking to the captain. Sounds like they're talking about how Hannah's behavior has been affecting Kiko and the whole boat and the whole thing. So I'm curious to see what happens there. The guests do applaud Kiko big time, it looks like, on the next night. So I'm still holding out hope, but I don't think this will end well. Then we see Hannah having a freak out saying, I hate this effing job. And then they go to her outside her room. They show, Hannah, are you okay? And it sounds like she's having a panic attack. So that's awful. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But yeah, that was the episode. I thought it was a good episode. It stayed interesting all the way through. I just want to hug Kiko. I feel so bad for the guy. He's having a really tough time. So, poor thing. So that's it. So I cover Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of New York. Of course, this show, I can't wait. Potomac starts up next week, so I'll be covering that as well. I'm trying to get the last episodes of season 4 out that I'm covering to get ready for season 5. And you guys can follow me. I'm at Real Recaps on Twitter, and be sure to comment below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.